All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Berserk, episode 20.
Yeah.
It's all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's all wrong.
Yes.
It's all wrong. Griffith is...
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, Griffith is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He is probably in a dungeon. They're probably debating what to do with him. Or how to do horrible things to him. The other thing is that Griffith represents the Band of the Hawk. So what happens to them?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guts
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be found.
Uh-huh.
Now, the way it seemed,
Mm-hmm.
was like there was a very real possibility that Casca might go after him. Now, the thing is all this being timed perfectly so that Casca will leave before she finds out about the whole Griffith-Charlotte thing? Or is it like she'll learn exactly about it and then get out just in the nick of time before
Who knows?
They're all put on lockdown by the king?
That is an excellent question.
Yep, and I want some excellent answers. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this. Guts basically like made sure to not kill him, like right there. That's
Like,
yeah,
like he even cleared some of the snow away so that you can see the grass. Like,
yes. Oh
yeah.
oh,
Just in
my
case we
gosh.
forgot about this little encounter.
Berserk knows how to do these little lingering moments in like the eyes of characters.
Yes.
Where there'll be no animation. They're just sitting there like wide-eyed, and they'll have like multiple expressions on their faces, but because of the context of the story, you're able to infer even more about like what's going on actually in their heads at that moment.
Feel no shame, but
So,
shape, where the chance
I
that
love that.
plays, even mother will
Show you another way, so put your glasses on, nothing will be wrong. There's no blame, there's no fame, it's up to you. The choice words should be founded. Whatever holds you back, I can't get it off. Tell me what you want. I don't know why you're afraid. Tell me what you'd say. I don't know why, too late, it's too late. Oh, back at the castle, oh boy. Oh wait, is this a different land? I think it is. Wait, is this like a time skip? And then we're gonna like see Guts? Valencia. What the heck? What the heck? Is he even supposed to be here? Challenger.
そう固いこと言うなってお祭りなんだからさ一つ手合わせしてくんねえか
よし許す決勝前の余興じゃやるがよい
Why does Guts look a little bit off though?
勝負は勝負
Okay, now he looks fine again. Weird.
構えろ
でいつでも
構えるというのか
The challenger is standing still.
These are some big dudes though, like,
Oh yeah.
holy crap.
You may have length, but I have girth.
Jeez! Oh! Now he's just showing off, like, Guts! Oh my gosh. Is this part of his new goal? He's trying to, like, become a legendary swordsman?
使える気はないか無論給金は弾むぞ
悪いけどまあそんなつもり
Right, right. He's not about that now. So what does he do? Have we time skipped?
おいおい
エリカ心配しちゃった。だ
Who's
って朝
this?
起きたらいないんだもん、ガッツ。パリコとおじいちゃんの言った通りだったわ。ガッツは必ず戻ってくるって。
that's a hardy man. Ah, blacksmith,
ぼ
yes.
ーっとしてたかと思えやなるほ
You've
ど
actually seen this guy before.
今日の相手は
Oh, in the
かなり
very
でき
beginning?
るやつだったよ
Whoa, yeah.
剣は嘘をつかん自分の行き先もわからんやつに振り回されて
Whoa.
エリカにも直させてよ。
リカがもっと大きくなったらな
So is Erica the girl that the guys were harassing in the very beginning too?
No.
I would have been like, that would be a pretty big time skip between now and the first episode. Chiseled boy!
俺の行く先、俺の夢か、俺の夢なのか。
What? Some kind of training? What? What? You're kidding me! You're kidding me! Yeah, right! Oh my gosh! He dead.
やっぱり無理だったわね。一度にあんなにたくさんは。
そうだな。
Yeah, you
But,
think?
you know, still being able to cut through massive logs that size with one swing, you
こ
know.
いつはもっと身近で、俺の体の一部だ。
Oh, this is when he forges the new sword. Right. He needs the big one.
The slab of steel.
Right.
死を実感した瞬間も、こいつと一緒に超えてきた。
Music.
こいつは俺が生きてきたこと、そのものなんだ。
Jeez! Oh, maybe there's a metaphor here.
もう動かない
Every time he
ですから
strikes something, he's blinded to something else. I wonder how much this guy knows potentially
Godo.
about who he is.
あんた、なんで鍛冶屋やってんの？
Godo.
じゃあ先祖代々鍛冶屋だ。
好きか、鍛冶屋。
さあな。
I don't know.
って。
エリカ好き？面白いもん。私もなるの。鍛
Erica
冶屋に。
talks in third person unless she doesn't want to.
あいや歩くのより前にこいつを握っとった。
Wow, that's a crazy thought.
火だ。
Yep.
の前の鉄を叩いとった。もっとうまく、もっといいものと考えてるうちに、あっという間にこの年になっちまった。そんなことはわからんわい。
Crazy thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing something and then
一つだ
suddenly,
け気に入っとるもんがある
now.。
火花だ。
Sparks.
火花はいい。わしの命そのものが一瞬目の
Wow.
前で弾けとるような気がする。
Sword on
剣
sword,
が
yeah.
弾き出す
Clang,
小さ
clang.
な光。
Yeah.
まるで命そのもの。
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Like, it's so over the top and ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
結局俺にはこれだけだ。誰のためでもない。自分自身のため。
Okay. It's your choice then.
火花を弾き出すために。
行くのか。
ああ、世話になったな。
居候しといて、その一言だけだ。
Whoa, yeah.
達者で
There
暮らせ
had
よ
to be a time
あん
skip.
たも。
Yep.
こと言われんでも分かっとるわい。死ぬんじゃねえぞ。
Destiny.
五道のじいさん。
Oh.
一体どういう風の吹き回しじゃ。お前がこんな朝早くから訪ねてくると。
仕事頼みに来たのさ。
仕事？
大至急剣を作ってもらいたいんだ。
なんだ、戦でも始まるのか。
盗賊狩りだ。
盗賊狩り？
今日地裁に
The Band of the
例の
Hawk
者たちが逃げ込んだんだ。
The Band of the
だ
Hawk.
から今のうちに武器を
Yes
作ってボロ儲けすんのさ。仙人みたいな
Oh
もんだ
my
からな。
gosh. Wow.
や
何者なんじゃ。そのお
Oh, it's so perfect.
Uh-huh.
1年ほど前に
It's all come
反乱
full
を起こした
circle,
元
yeah.
傭兵団だ。
傭兵団。
なんでもそのボスっていうのがすごい女剣士で。
女？
奴ら100年戦争じゃ随分と活躍してたらしいがな。名前だったっけな。確か高野団。
おい、今なんつった？なんつったって聞いてんだよ。
女ボスキャスカが率いる高野団です。
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. He's gonna come in the night. The Black Swordsman. As reinforcements.
やっと見つけたぞ。高野団。畜生、手間かけさせやがって。
Wow.
くな
They're
よ。
fugitives now.
奴らにとって今日が最後の夜なんだぜ。
They've not had a good life.
Nope. And like how much smaller the camp is now.
Oh, geez. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Way less of them. Or way fewer.
あんまり根詰めるなよ。身が持たないぜ。気持ちはわかるけど、
Hopefully most of the main crew are
実
still
的に
here.
高野団のリーダーなんだ。
Right?
あの上、お前まで倒れたら。
分かってる。
Yeah.
ダムに潜り込んだ連中から連絡があった。グリフィスはウィンダム城の中でも最下層、
of
最も
course.
古
Yep.
い地下牢に監禁されているらしい。うめきともつかない声を何人かの者が耳にしている。
Wow. Yeah.
ここ一月それも途絶えているそうだ。
Oh, crap.
信じろ。もっと仲間を信用しろ。今は一人一人ができるだけのことをするしかないんだ。
Oh. Yeah.
だいたい少しは休まないと。
Oh my gosh. So Guts is gonna come back
とにかく食べて
and
寝ろ。
help rescue Griffith.
ジュドありがとう。
Good boy, Judo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's basically just milk. Yeah. No. I just wanted everyone to be happy.
どうキャスカ。
少し休むって。
その方がいいよ。キャスカ最近全然寝てないもん。
Yeah, I was gonna say she probably hasn't
あ
slept
い
much
つは
at
よく
all.
やってるよ。あいつが団長代理をやってなきゃ俺たちは今頃。
ここまで生き延びたかどうか。
生き延びたからなんだっつんだよ。たとえ無事に生き延びてどっかの国で一からやり直そうったってよ、そりゃもう無理ってもんだ。だいたいグリフィスがいなきゃ鷹の段なんてただの
Oh, they're
無謀の
literally
城よ。
bringing up the sheep
何も
analogy
できや
here.
しねえさ。
何言ってるのさ。だからこうしてみんなでグリフィスを救い出そうと。
のかよ、生きてるって保証が。本当はよ、終わってんじゃねえか。
じゃあなんでコルカスはここにいるの。なんで飛び出した連中と
Get
一緒に
wrecked,
行かなかったの。
Corcus. Mm-hmm. Oh, deserters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll bet there were a lot of them. Yeah.
あいつがいてくれたら。
Oh, Guts.
どうした。
Crap. Yeah. The faceless. Like, got one tooth and...
Right.
And this is where he's gonna get his legendary title of Black Swordsman. He's going to be their demon knight. Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So smooth. And here he is, standing tall. Oh my gosh.
ピリッとしろよ。
Yeah. This is rule of cool right here. Yo. Whoa. Whoa. That art. Holy crap.
Yep.
It made him actually look kind of like a devil, like kind of like a creature
Right.
of the night almost. Like
Almost like he's about ready to go berserk.
yeah. Like I gotta say it was a bit jarring going from dramatis craziness to
time skip.
time skip to
New
random
characters
new
and-
characters that
Yep.
are just there for Gus's interim time of showing that time has passed.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't spend any more time with it. But
Wait
I'm wondering if there was this is like a minor critique, but I wonder if there was a better way to do it. Just,
Right. Well, it's the idea that, like...
I would have searched for a lot of other options.
Okay, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, it's the idea that Guts decided what he wanted to do, and that involved leaving, so...
But he didn't decide what he more decided to leave rather than what he wanted to do.
Sure, right. So it's showing what he decided to do, and the fact that all that other stuff, it's just not gotten to because he's not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So-
all right. So we now know kind of what's gone down.
Uh-huh.
The Band of the Hawk was
We're outlaws now.
Where they're outlaws, and they've come full circle again, essentially.
Yep.
But they were touted as having led a revolt. So here's where I think we can assume some things went down. Is Griffith screwed up?
Yes.
He went to go rape Charlotte and got thrown in jail for it, or in a dungeon for it. The Band of the Hawk freaks out and impulsively tries to, in an aggressive-ish way, try to get Griffith free. And then they're all labeled as,
right,
rebels or...
It could also be that simply because he hated Griffith and they were Griffith's men, the king just decided, you know what?
Oh.
I'm just going to say they tried to lead a revolt, and boom.
Well, that's even... That's just as plausible, but it's even more effective. So, yeah. I'll take either one. And if they did it that way, it doesn't really matter which. The point is that now they're trying to rescue Griffith, but they don't have enough men to even pull off something like that.
Right.
There are a lot of people who deserted. There are a lot of people who don't believe Griffith is even alive at this point.
Yep.
They do have people that are spies on,
That's right.
Giving them informant information and stuff, which is very good. I do like, though, that they have been having a spy there for a long time, and that mention of hearing a voice call out from the depths of the dungeon, like moaning and wailing, and then it hasn't made any noise for a month. You know what that leads me to think of is not the Griffith is dead, obviously.
What?
But the Griffith has, like, broken. Like, Griffith has, like, gone way past the river lake incident,
Right.
From his past. But the thing is that, guys, Griffith becomes king.
Yeah, how does that work?
What the heck? The disparity of where we're at and where we're going to be.
Right, it doesn't get much worse than being in the lowest levels of the darkest dungeons, Yeah.
Like, here's my worry. Is that it's such a far gap from where Griffith is to where he's going to be that it's actually just really far in the future. Like, because they've brought up the idea that this story can do time skips, there is nothing to say that Griffith... I think Griffith would look the most different from aging. Guts seems to have a pretty, pretty ageless face in terms of that...
Yeah, more or less.
He always looks a little bit older than he actually is. But he also doesn't have much defining features on his face because he's just big. Like, he's just a big guy.
Yeah.
So Guts could look like, 28, but he's actually like 38 probably.
Sure.
In that he's just, I'm hardened. Because I always have this permanent scowl.
Or he looks 38, but he's actually 28,
True.
Yeah.
But that we could have a huge time skip in between now and Griffith becoming king. So
sure.
Yeah, who knows though? I do know that there's a lot of manga material after this, so there might be an instance where this whole future thing that's coming or whatever isn't something that I'll even be able to see the connecting dots to. But I don't know whether or not that's really relevant to even speculate on.
Gotcha.
The main thing I want to know is, with Griffith's character development, he's gone through some massive changes. He's gone through also a lot of depth revelations. And I would say that more so with this, we now know how fragile Griffith is. He's a character that you're supposed to like. But the show kind of made it obvious that you're supposed to like him, so much so that when he started giving off the odd vibes, they stand out even more.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's not always okay. Yeah.
No. So now that we know he's definitely not okay, Guts is back. They're going to rescue Griffith. Like they have to. But the thing is what will that accomplish? Like, what will that change? Will Guts's dream end up being basically that he will always be there for Griffith? Basically that they will end up being peers by Guts having his dream be that...
Right, not being an underling, but being an ally.
Sure, maybe that could be his dream, actually, is just to be Griffith's friend. Sure. It's a power of friendship thing there, but in actuality, that's the kind of thing that would make them both peers, not only by succeeding in the dream, but by also having the dream be something that's not at all connected to
to each other.
Dream,
Yeah.
In that he will never serve Griffith again.
Right.
he will be his friend. And yeah. In some ways, it's just whether or not will Griffith, accept his friendship, because as we know, Griffith has elements of vindictiveness. He has elements of his nature that don't really take. He's a little bit cold when it comes to things. He's not hot like Casca.
Sure.
Like Casca's a more hot. She burns hot. Griffith, he kind of simmers cold. Like not simmers. He's
more consistent.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. So when he sees the guy, the
minister,
the guy that consorted with him
when
he was a boy, he's like, I feel nothing for you, and he gives off the kind of the cold psychopath, vibes and stuff. I could see a very, very real world line where Griffith is grateful for Guts's, help. But once he's, at the very least back with his, his actual family, he's like, now you get out of here. Like, you're not my family.
Ah, gotcha.
And that
you have no place among us, kind of.
Right. And that's basically the thing. It's like, you betrayed me. Like, this is your fault. Like,
gotcha.
You're
right.
Griffith will be too far gone at this point to be saved mentally. Like, he'll be saved physically. But that's the thing. I think that the fact that they made a point of saying that the voice stopped, that Griffith is all about will.
Yes.
And also about fate and destiny. But the thing is that I think that his will gave out. Is that he believes so strongly in his own fate and destiny that in this dungeon, we have a time skip that will have some inferred character development, where he had his belief in his own destiny shattered because his will gave out. And his will is what the thing that kept him screaming and moaning and railing against the
dying
dark.
Of the light.
Yes, exactly. Rage, yes. So, if he comes back, I could see him being a hindrance to the Band of the Hawk.
Gotcha.
In that they would be like, yes, Griffith's back, and it's just a shell of the man. He's never going to be the same. He'll be someone that could be a great leader, but he's not going to be the one with the dream. He's just going to be a battle tactician who is just kind of dead inside.
Which could be a great reversal kind of a thing, because then it's like, now Guts has the dream and all that stuff,
and maybe in some ways Guts needs to showcase what the dream is like again for Griffith. However,
which is rather poetic if you think about it.
Yes. However, we have this whole aspect of their conflict. The Band of the Hawk's conflict.
Yeah.
Guts' personal conflict. Casca's and Griffith's and stuff.
Yep.
Then we have the demons from on high. Then we have Zod McBalrog Bitchface himself, who needs to meet the swift end at a blunt slab of steel, and yet that's not happening anytime soon. Or at the very least, it doesn't seem like it is. And we still have foretold events and portents and all that.
Capitalized adjectives and all that stuff, yeah.
That just haven't been mentioned again. Like, they were just mentioned a while back, and it's like, what? Those things, we don't need to bring those up. Not until they're absolutely relevant. And I feel like that we could resolve the whole Griffith situation in no more than 2 episodes. So this was 20, and we have 21, 22. Oh, look at that. 3 episodes left. What will those be focused on, I wonder? So I just look at this and I go, okay, we've got a lot of good stuff to where Griffith can make some choices that change things again. And I like having, in some ways, I like having the agency of choice be in Griffith's hands, in that he's always been the character kind of driving the plot forward.
Right. Even though Guts is the main character. Yeah.
Even though Guts is the main character. Guts is a very reactive character when it comes down to things. But he has had a year. What they could do in this kind of rescue mission thing is show how Guts has become a much more proactive character.
Sure.
He now takes charge. Maybe he's a more of a leader now.
Yeah.
Maybe in some ways, this is something that'd be really crazy, is that they actually do rescue Griffith. And they're just looking at a broken man. And it's sad. It's horrible. And they have to have a moment where they realize, yeah, we will take you with us because you're blood. Like, you are family.
Right, your family.
But you'll never lead the Band of the Hawk again. Like, you betrayed us. Because I don't know what they know about what actually happened.
Right.
But something tells me that Griffith, even without even them knowing any of that, is going to look like, basically, like a husk. Like, the way I imagined it is it's been a year, right?
Right.
Let's say they gave him minimal nourishment just to keep him alive and did nothing else. Okay? That's usually what they do in dungeons. They give you just enough food to keep you from not dying.
Sure.
So you don't just kill yourself. Maximum suffering. That alone sucks. Okay, let's notch things up just a little bit more horrible from that point on. Let's say they beat him once or twice, just a couple times.
Once a month,
But they left him in such a, horrible state, malnourished state. He's just sitting there, just bruised and beaten. Okay, let's imagine they had this on a monthly basis. Or a, bi-monthly basis.
Sure.
Let's say they got creative.
Okay.
I don't think that when we see Griffith again, he will look like a painting. Like he stepped out of a painting. Like, you know what I'm imagining? Like, right now, like, I'm imagining, like,
what?
At the very least, like something brutal. And the first thing I kind of go to when it comes to this is that he committed, a violent sexual act, is that they chop off his manhood. They basically take another aspect of showing that he had some kind of regal element to his nature, and they shave his head. And they just beat him with clubs, and then keep him, nourished and stuff. But, all the things that would make him look like a proud man would be taken from him.
So that way, even if he did ever get out, he would never be at that point where he would never charismatic, inspiring.
Right. He would never bear children again. Not bear children. I mean, not, but his line would be over. And then he would be so physically bruised and beaten and probably mentally traumatized that he wouldn't have, much of anything to hold on to.
Gotcha.
I do think, though, it's going to be the most heart-rending reunion when him, Casca, and Guts are all, just in a huddle, just crying over them with the Band of the Hawk in, an external bubble around them. I'm going to just, tears will flow. I can just see it right now. It's going to hurt.
That would definitely make tears.
I'm already getting hot just thinking about it. Okay, so this episode's a little bit of an in-betweener.
Yep.
You've watched this show before. So in the in-betweener stuff, what parts do you think are kind of standout moments? Maybe thematically for Guts? Moments where he's alone and kind of thinking about his
there's
dream,
moments where he's
destiny.
alone and thinking about it and all that stuff. And the idea that what he's doing now of his dream and all that stuff. I feel like it's still in kind of that, almost in that infantile stage.
Yes,
because
definitely.
He's never had to think about this, right? He's been in perpetual survival mode since he was a kid, and now he's just starting to think about these things. So it's almost this timid stretching of the wings, kind of a thing.
Right, and that's why he was asking Godo whether or not he likes being a swordsmith. Because,
exactly.
It's a question that people don't get asked. They're just no, this is just what I do. Who cares if I like it?
And I love Godo's line of, I was just doing it because I liked it and, whatever. And then I one day realized that I was an old man.
Wow.
I love that line because it can both be
scary.
It can both be a very scary thing and a very strong positive thing, right? That he's so enveloped in doing what he loves that all of a sudden he's an old man, and it's
that's a very good positive way to
time
look
flies
at
when
it.
you're having fun. But the reverse could also be true, right?
Which I think is what they were intending it
or at least what it certainly would be for Guts in the situation of if he stayed where he was, right? That he would have just kept fighting and surviving and all that stuff, and then suddenly he'd realize he's an old man and he'd be like, what do I have to show for it?
Whoa, the callback to Gambino, though. In some ways, Gambino did all this, so successful, all of a sudden he just kind of woke up from his stupor, his dream, if you will, and was like, I'm a broken old man. I have nothing. In fact, the one thing he did have was guts, and he projected all of his self-hatred onto Guts and tried to kill him. Wow. That's actually brilliant to bring up, like, that aspect of it where it's a positive potentially, but also that Guts sees it as a negative of where he would have been, and that he has examples of where it has gone negative for others in Gambino, for instance. Wow.
Yep, but they're back together now.
They're back together
with that super
rule
awesome,
of cool.
Bro,
like the way he just kind of stood there. It's like, all right, is this JoJo's or is this Berserk? Like, we get it.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you over the sound of my awesome sword resting on my massive shoulders.
Right. I couldn't hear over the sound of my manly posing.
Yeah!
You know, back in black! Yes. Oh my gosh. And the little conversation between the Band of the Hawk members,
like Corcus, like Corcus complaining, and then it's like, well, why haven't you left, already with the rest of the deserters? I love that. I love that so much. And he can't say anything, But then it's like, then Guts comes back, and it's like, wait a minute, is that the answer? That he, even though he lost hope that Griffith they would ever get him back, he's still hoping that maybe one day they'd be reunited with Guts,
Yeah.
Because of the conversation that Guts had with him before he left, Like,
specifically the whole sheep and a shepherd thing. I loved that because I was like, I'm glad that they brought that up at some point, because we brought it up in discussion a while back. The sheep were the ones that deserted.
Right.
You guys stayed. Like, you guys stayed. Like,
that's
so much more.
Yeah.
That's so much more. Like, for all of Corcus's kind of muling, if you will. Like,
he's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Well, right, but he has a certain possessiveness about this group, and that's why he was so possessive when Guts kind of stepped into the mix,
right?
And why he's always subconsciously liked Casca too. Like, all these little things are basically where he can't have everything in life go exactly the way he wants it. But
he's glad at least that he gets to have it go the ways that he doesn't necessarily.
But to identify a little bit with him, he had a taste of some of the most wonderful things happening for him and the people he cared about. And it was all ripped away from him all of a sudden. And I think for someone like Corcus, and I'm not trying to like hyper focus on Corcus as this deep character, but it makes sense about how jaded he is given his past and stuff.
Yeah, it's the idea that there can be deepness in all the characters, even if they're not some grand, amazing person, right? Even with all the issues that Corcus has, Yeah,
too bad Pippin has no character though. Like, I really wish.
Yeah.
Since it's gone this long, I don't think we're ever gonna get character for him. But I wish he would have been given some. And it's not like I would trade any of the other Band of the Hawk members for him.
But it's just like,
maybe Corcus. But like on some level, like, Pippin was the kind of character that I wanted to have some warmth in the Band of the Hawk be expressed in a way that was kind of like an Ent.
Right, because his introduction was so good of just, him picking up Guts, elbowing him in the nose or whatever, and he's just like, don't be shy. That's good stuff.
There was a little bit of weird visual stuff in the beginning with Guts. I don't know if you noticed that, but his face looked all...
Oh, yeah, for a second it looked like
the aspect ratio or something, like it was all like compressed or something.
Or just like he was being drawn younger.
Yes, he was being drawn younger. Thank you.
For random moments. Maybe that's something intentional where they're saying, like, look at how much happier he is here, but I don't think so.
It just felt like a simple mistake. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, this show's visuals are pretty simple, except for when they're not.
Right.
But every once in a while you're like, wait. That was a little bit off.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Yeah. Other than that, good episode.
Yes.
Not one of the great episodes, but a good episode, solid, and a transition towards where things will go into like crazy mode. and I'm ready. Are you ready for me to be ready?
Yes.
Do you think you'll be able to remain stonewalled?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You've done a good job so far?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey guys, I'm excited for the next, what is it? 5 episodes?
5 episodes, yeah.
Crazy. 5 more episodes and we're done with Berserk 1997. So yeah. If you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, where you can chat with us about stories, whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time. And this is why I have to do those voice acting lessons. Enunciate the words properly.
I have a list of tongue twisters that are hilarious and effective. If you want to try it.
That's
Not that
twister.
kind of tongue twister.
Okay.